I just broke this. Kind of depressing. Even though it's a dollar, I don't have a dollar. Wait, or do I? I might. I like using it. I like the darkness in my eyes. I hope everyone's doing alright. I don't know if I use chopsticks. I tried so many times throughout the years. I do not know how I use them. Well, the steam on the camera is pretty cool. So I use a fork. A forky. Mm. Egg tastes really good. Mm. Whoa. You know, I'm not good at rapping. I always wish that I was good at rapping, but I'm not really good at it. I always tried. Back in high school, I was teaching myself how to rap and such, but I was just never really good at like flowing, right? I was just like I never flow correctly. When it's like offbeat, um, I always try so hard to, but it's just not natural to me. For me, it's more natural for me to sing. Even when I wasn't really that good at singing, this always felt more natural. But I always really wanted to rap though because like I always like rappers who can like I like rappers who can express their dark side through like rapping and everything like that. I always thought that was so cool. Like rappers like my favorite rappers like well they're not necessarily like my favorite rappers like my go-to rappers to listen to, but they're like the, the pinnacle and the kind of like rap stuff that like the kind of like rap style that I like, and that's like Pac, Tupac, um, Eminem, and and Lil Wayne. Those guys. I like how they just violate people with their like music, with their words and stuff like that. Cause I'm a really what's the word? I can be really like I can't think of the word. My vocabulary sucks, man. But I just know how to say things that can really like fuck with people. Dude, my hair is so itchy, man. I ran out of like conditioner, so it's not it's not looking good for me. But yeah, I just really wish I could rap, but it doesn't really make that much sense. I guess it's just more so like trying to like fit in. I have that thing sometimes where I want to fit in. And also, I just think it's cool too, like to be completely honest. Like, there's a lot of skills I wish I had because I just think it's so cool. But you know, I'm a better singer than I'm a rapper. I like to combine the two though. I like to combine the rapping with the singing. So when I do kind of like rap, it's more melodic based. Like I like to I, I really like my talent, like with like my uniqueness with my voice, like with my singing style, like my vocal style, is my breath. So like the way how I use my breath and everything like that. Like even when I pause and when I take breaths and stuff like that, I utilize my breath as well. Like breathing. Like I make the breathing a sound. Like I use it along with the words and make it interesting. And I just I really like get a is it harmonizing? I don't remember words, man. I haven't been social for like 3 years. So my vocabulary went to shit because if you don't speak enough, you start losing, you start forgetting things. I haven't been around people for a very long time. Yeah, like 3 years. But yeah, like being able to hold out words for like a long time and just doing unique things with my voice and stuff like that. Um, That's something I'm good at. But yeah, like rapping fast and all that kind of stuff is hard for me. I can't rap fast. I can't speak fast. I'm not good at speaking fast. It's hard. One day I might learn it. Um, Something I know is like Lalisa. Lalisa can rap. She can rap pretty fast too. She's good at rapping. I don't think she's that great at singing though, but she can rap though. I think she can sing decently. Like I can rap decently. Just like she can dance really well. Like superb. I can't dance all that like superb. Like I can dance good, but like not like how like the like a lot of like K-pop idols dance. I can't dance like that. I can learn, but it's not my strong suit. My strong suit's more so my performance, like being able to express myself, my emotions, like more like acting. I'm better at acting, like expressing myself. Like I don't think she's as good as that as she is at dancing. I think that's really cool. Like that like we kind of like marry each other in ways like that. I think that's really fascinating. Um, I guess I'll speak about that because that's really interesting because it's pretty unique because I've never seen anything like this before. Um, Me beginning my career and being united with my twin, I never met her. She's always been around in my energy. Like I've seen like a lot of Blackpink stuff and like a lot of people around me know Blackpink, but like I never paid attention to it. I even noticed there was a video I reacted to on my other channel. It was like a smash or pass or like a high or not, like something like that. And it was Blackpink that popped up, and I didn't think anything of it at all. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't say the wrong thing back then. I was just like, nope. I wasn't really paying attention. It's really interesting how like what's meant for you like always like lingers around, like in like weird ways. It's so interesting. It just waits until you guys are ready to align. But yeah, united with my twin is really interesting. Um, I know the world's not really used to that. The world's not really even used to like a lot of like love and all that kind of stuff and like unity, like relationships and stuff like that. I'm really like loyal in my relationships. Yes, I eat that off the ground. I don't care. But I'm really loyal to my to the people in my life and everything like that. Whoever I'm meant to be with, that's who I'm supposed to be with, and everyone else I don't really think much about. And also, I'm celibate. I haven't had sex in it'll be 3 years this year. I never really was doing it like that anyway. Every time I kind of did it, it was just more so for like the other person. Because I just like making people feel good and everything like that. And a lot of people have sex out here, so I just thought that was something I had to do. But when I started sitting with myself more and realizing what I want, Other than that, that's not really me, you know. And whoever I'm supposed to be with, if they're not into that, like if they want me to do that and they don't respect my boundaries, then I guess it's just not meant to be, you know. I want to be a kid, so yeah. And also, I feel like being celibate's awesome because like you don't have to worry about like all these like you can just be around anybody and no one thinks anything of it because it's like okay he's not sexual, so there's nothing to worry about. Like I could just be myself and be around people, and I don't have to worry about anyone trying to mess with me or anything like that or any jealousy or any weird stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I just want to exist and just be around people and just love people and everything like that. I think that's really awesome. But when sex comes along, that's when people start like, you know, they start acting weird about things and start becoming possessive and all these different things and jealous. Yeah, or not. There's so much stuff you can do out here besides just having sex all the time. Oh my gosh, my head's so itchy, dude. Like, I look like a caveman. I can't even grow facial hair. So, but yeah, well, back with the twin, yeah, I think it's really interesting because she mirrors me so much. It's so interesting. And when I came across her, everything just made so much sense to me because like I just never felt alone. Like I just never felt like I belonged in the United States. Like at least like in a lot of like areas and stuff like that. I've been in like I never really felt the love that I always wanted. I never met anyone who had similar energy as me. And even when I looked around in the music world, I'm a music lover, so I know a lot about music. So like I tried so hard for the past 10 years to find these different places to exist in, to coexist in within the music world, and it just never really worked out. I didn't realize that I was supposed to look overseas. I kept trying. I was more so drawn to like Japan. I never thought about like Korea or anything like that. Um, but yeah, I think it's really awesome. I hope she can handle me because I'm really intense. I really am like super intense, and I don't want to like overwhelm anybody, but I'm pretty intense. I do like how more intense like Korea is compared to like the United States. They're more disciplined. They have more honor. Around here, the people aren't disciplined. They have no honor, and it's just so weird just being around people because you're just like the odd man out all the time, and it's just and then you're often roped into things that you don't really want to do, and it's just so weird and uncomfortable. And that's when you start making mistakes, and you start like I feel so uncomfortable. Like that's why I like being by myself. I feel so uncomfortable being around people. I do because I end up having to be roped in with their energy and with their selfishness and their lack of discipline, their impulsives, their vices, all these different things. That's like the only reason why I started smoking weed was because I was forced to. When my friends like forced me to. I remember they stuck me in a room and they wouldn't let me leave the room until I smoked. And that's when I started smoking weed. But like I never got addicted to it or anything like that. But yeah, like I was just around people who just always forced me to do shit that I didn't want to do. You know. So I was just like I'm someone who just I'm a very pure person. Like I'm just a product of what I'm exposed to. So me knowing that, I just really like to be by myself. A lot of people don't like being by themselves because they can't handle themselves. They can't handle like the thoughts and like their insecurities and all these different kind of things. I don't have that like that. Like I feel far more comfortable just being alone. Um, and I feel safe by myself because I'll look after myself. A lot of people I'm around, I notice they only really care about themselves, and it scares me because it often puts me in situations that's not good for me. And they don't care. They just rope you in with it. It's really terrifying because you can see through their intentions. Yeah, just like, I guess I never talked about it. I should talk about it. Like 2020, in April, I don't know what the hell happened, but I got arrested that year at that time, and it really messed me up a lot. Um, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I got drugged by my coworkers. Like, I did a photo shoot with like my photographer, Margaret. She's so awesome. Um, like a month before that, and then like that time in April, my coworkers, one of them, he was like kept spamming me and was really interested in doing a photo shoot. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Like, sure, why not? So I'm really nice like that. Like, sure, why not do it? Um, and we scheduled it. I asked Margaret if she's open for it, and she said yeah. And then we got that going. And then like, um, I thought, why drive there when we live by each other? Margaret's in New Jersey, so let's just go together. And that was a mistake. I shouldn't have did that. And I went, and I asked if they had weed, and and then yeah, I smoked some of their weed or whatever, but that shit was like not weed. Like I don't know what the fuck that was. It like fucked me up, and then like it triggered my soul, and it did something really weird to me. It like fucked me up completely, and it just made me see their intentions and everything like that. Like like awoke and like really like in a really like weird way, and just made me just I couldn't like I don't know what the fuck was happening. It was just really crazy, and I couldn't control myself. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know. It was just like some weird shit that was happening with me. But it was a really scary experience. But eventually, when we got to like, I just felt so uncomfortable. I was just able to feel all the vibes and the energy in the room, out in the car, and just feel everything for what it was. And that just made me like want to just like leave. At the same time, like I kept losing like control of myself. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I remember I ended up leaving the car, and I ended up stripping and something like that. And I remember I kept going in and out of consciousness. I kept feeling in and out of consciousness, in and out of consciousness. And I remember at one point in the car, I kept telling myself, "Don't fall asleep." Like, don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep. I felt like if I fell asleep, like I don't know, something would happen. Whether like my body would shut down or like just something would happen. I was so confused. But it was just like a really weird thing. It was so confusing. Remember, I was butt ass naked. I stripped butt ass naked. It was just a super weird experience. I don't like it was weird, but yeah, I got arrested for that. Public indecency, and I got public indecency, and I got a drug charge. Um, it was dropped, fortunately, barely. The judge like barely wanted to drop it. They let those guys get off scot free. Oh yeah, when I went to the hospital, the nurse asked me like if I do this like all the time or whatever, if I do this a lot. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I was thinking it was just weed. I'm like so confused. I was still like, cause they're friends. I was still just in my like trusting phase. Like I didn't bring my dark side out, cause like I really don't like to bring that out, cause I like to have faith in people. So like I like to neglect that. And around that time, I was really like ignoring that side of me as well. Wasn't really like on that. And also I was always just around people who were just really genuine to me, so I never really thought much of it. But yeah, but they showed me, they said I had like Xanax and like some other bullshit in my body. Like I think they said fentanyl too. I don't remember, but a lot of weird shit. And I was like confused because I thought it was just weed. And then like I remember like shit just kept getting delayed and delayed, like the court case or whatever just kept getting delayed and delayed. And I was just so confused the whole time. I was just so confused, and it was just like a whole lot of bullshit, and it like really fucked me up and just made me not really trust people. And then I started thinking about like everything, and just started realizing a lot of like I started remembering a lot of conversations I had with those guys. One of them was really genuine. He was a really cool guy, but I feel like he just made the wrong move. But the other one, like the ringleader, there was like a lot of clues of like jealousy and all these different kinds of things that I was just ignoring. I should have known better, but I was super naive. That's something that like for me, like I'm a really kind person, but I'm always surrounded by people who aren't really as selfless or as protective of me, like family, everything like that. They're not really protective. As long as he's alive, he's good. If he's alive, he's good. Oh, he got injured really bad. Is he alive? Okay, then it's fine. Like they don't really think about like my emotional well being or think about things like deeper. Like I never really had anyone like to protect me like that, you know. And I don't have an older brother or anything like that, so I never really had that kind of thing. I always just had a dad or anything like that, so I always had to just like be myself. Like you have like moms and like older sisters and stuff like that, but like for me, like it's like more fear based. It's not rational, you know. It's not like it's just it's just super like overprotective to like the point of where like they don't really see things for how they are. They just see things and it's like super scarce, like super afraid, like fear mindset. But yeah, I never had anyone to really be able to just decipher a situation and just be like, okay, no, that's not good for you, or just see through people. I never had people who were able to just see through people, and I'm able to see through people, but when my heart's there, sometimes I fuck up, you know. But these days I'm not like that as much, you know, because I just realized so much, and I just don't have any sympathy for anyone who doesn't have love for me. But yeah, I almost fucked my life over, and it sucks because I just had love for him. I know there's so much, a lot of like bad things happen to me when I just have good intentions for people. I just want to look out for them and just be good to them, and they just try to fuck me over. Um, I don't like to think about that. I don't like to think like that because when I start thinking that, that's when like my demonic side starts coming out, and that's when I just start thinking really terribly and maliciously. Cause that's why I try so hard not to think like that and to see the good in people. Cause once I don't see the good in people, why are you alive if you're just trying to destroy people? That's just how I see it. That's why I try my best not to think like that, and I try my best to surround myself with genuine people. But sometimes it's hard when you're just by yourself all the time. You gotta learn from trial and error. But yeah, that really fucked me up. And then like no one really like cares about your perspective. So like since like my mom doesn't really have anyone in her life to be like strong for her, she's like rushing me to like recover from my trauma so that I can be there for her. And then on top of that, like a couple months later, like I had like the situation where I was accused of sexually assaulting someone. So that shit happened, and then like the other shit happened, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then like so much just happened in that 1 year. Um, Even like realizing Kobe died like in the beginning of the year, and then COVID happened and that fucked a lot of things up, and um and then I had to stop doing school because of COVID because I didn't want to do online school. It was a lot, and then also I was working at home Walmart, and it was just like really intense because COVID was happening and no one wanted to work, and all like the stores like flooded out. It was so much stress. It was so much that year. But you know, and then so many people just demand so much from me. Like I never really had anyone to just be like who can just see my situation and just realize how much stress I'm under. They just keep putting more and more on my plate. And then but oh yeah, the following year, you know, like a year later, my mom's telling me like not even a year later, my mom's telling me, oh, we gotta like move out. I don't know where you're gonna go. And then like I lost like my credit got fucked up. All these different things happened. I lost my job. I didn't really have anything. It was just so much. It was intense, man. It was so much. Like so much shit was just happening all at one time. And then I think I was spiritually awakening too at the same time. It was a lot of shit. And it was fucking with me heavily. And no one really cared. Like they just like, man, just get your shit together already. But at the same time, it's like, damn, like you guys aren't acknowledging my trauma or whatever I'm going through because I'm usually the strong one. I'm usually not in these situations because I'm usually good at preventing these things and being able to see situations for how they are. I've never really had situations like that to where I was just overwhelmed like that. But like others, they're always constantly sad or depressed or whatever, and they don't really care about your perspective. But once I was like just super overwhelmed, everyone's just like hurry the fuck up and get over it so that you can do what you need to do and be there for me or do this, do that. It was just so much. Like I became super numb to a lot, I think, at that point in time. Just like everything. I sort of just became numb to emotions, to just pain, to people. Like, and it was so hard for me to get jobs. My parents kept trying to force me to get jobs. It was so hard because I just felt so uncomfortable. I didn't trust anybody anymore. Even though, like, I kept being around people who were really genuine, but I just didn't feel it. Like, I had to learn to trust humans again. And on top of that, my mom's stressing me out all the time. And it's just, no one's really, like, I'm not feeling any love at all. So it's just like, why am I doing all this shit? There's no love. You guys are just using me and just treating me any kind of way. You know, it was a lot of anger, but um, what helped me at that time? I think anime. Yeah, my mom kept trying to tell me get a therapist, and the girl who accused me of sexual assault, she told me that I should try to get therapists and all these different kinds of things. Because a lot of people get therapists. I tried the therapist, but it didn't really work for me. Cause like when I was talking to her, like it didn't. It was like we were just having a conversation about like night. It was weird. It was like she was asking. It was like she wanted me to do her job for her. It was so weird. Like something that like for me like I've always felt like I had to do everything on my own. Besides like security stuff, but everything else, I always felt like I had to do everything on my own. That's why I have like a really detached mindset, and if people aren't gonna do right by me or do their part, then whatever, I just do it without you. That's like goes with like the whole jumping out the window thing. Okay, if the door's not gonna work, I need to fucking get out of here. So fuck it, I'll just jump out the window and figure it out myself. That's just my mentality. I just had to adapt that because I always just had to do everything by myself. Everything was just thrown on me. So much weight just always thrown on me, and it was just always more weight and more weight and more weight, and then you just become numb to it. So I just feel I don't know. I feel like that's why like I grow so fast because I have to deal with my problems and so many other people's problems, and people just keep throwing so much onto me. But it made me who I am. Oh man, this is really good. These noodles. I'm good at seasoning stuff. Oh my gosh, I can season stuff really. Oh my gosh, this is really good. I felt like, what did I do with the noodles? It's just a pack of ramen, and then I put it in a bowl. No, the thing. What is it? The pan? The no the the pan thingy, right? Boil the water. Yeah, and I put some butter in it, and I put some olive oil in it, and I put like a lot of different seasonings and garlic powder and like I think it was like a parmesan packet thing in it, and like some other stuff, and an egg, teriyaki sauce, and soy sauce. mix it up with the noodles, and it tastes really good. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my mindset. Like, I just really have like a fuck it, like whatever. I just go with the flow of my life. You know, I don't let anything stop me from getting what I want or being where I want to be. So if you're not gonna do your part, then I'll just do it without you. I really have that mentality. Like I remember at my other grandma's house, I was over there, and my grandma was upset because I didn't want to have a job because I was trying to focus on my career and just focus on my skills. And then like she came at me, she she got drunk and she got drunk and then she started acting irrational, and then she started saying I'm like my dad and all these different kind of things, and I was treating my mom and like I'm acting like the way how he was treating her and all these different kinds of things, and it really like fucked with me. Like it made me really emotional and everything like that. Like just like all the things she was saying to me, I knew she was just like drunk, but like it still like really fucked with me, and And then I just left. Like she said, you need to leave or whatever, and I just left. I just walked to my other grandma's house, in the middle of the night. Like I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of people don't really have my perspective. And I remember like I was trying to make. I wanted to smoke some weed. I didn't have a I didn't have papers, so I tried to make a bong out of like a Gatorade bottle. And then like I left it there. I forgot to throw it away. And then she took pictures of it and she was saying it to my family, making it seem like I was doing like hard drugs or something like that. I was just making a bong just so I could smoke some weed. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm very detached. I do feel a lot of emotions, but like I feel like I've just been like fucked with so much and just my heart's just been taken for granted for so long that so whatever. Because I see myself living for such a long time, and there's so many things I want to do. If people don't want to do right by me, then it's whatever. But, I know humans are humans, and humans are going to do human things. So, like, for me, I'm always able to forgive people because I can see through people, and I just see things for how they are. But it still affects me. So, like, when people do me wrong, and they constantly do me wrong, it's like, okay, I can forgive you, but I can't just keep being around you because you're not at the level where you can treat me right because you're just gonna keep doing wrong by me, and it's not fair for me to keep having to endure that. You keep putting your problems out on me. It's not fair, you know. I don't think my family realizes. My mom does, but like I don't think my family realizes how cold they are to me. Like even my mom, like today, like this morning, she like messaged me and she was like, I pray to God all the time that you forgive me for like my past, like how I treated you in the past, and everything like that. I tell her like, like you are already forgiven. You need to forgive yourself. Like I have no problems with you, you know. And then she said, if that's the case, then why are you so distant from me? And I told her like, I'm not distant at all. Like I don't really know what you're talking about. Distant. It's like I just like she messaged me like in the morning, like early in the morning, and I messaged her within like 10 minutes, you know. And then like so like maybe it's because you're not used to, like you don't understand my personality, but like you gotta understand like you're really standoffish a lot during my youth. So like whenever I try talking to her, everything like that, she'll either be like aggressive or just like not emotionally there or whatever, or just like kind of make me feel bad about myself at times and stuff like that. So like I never really had anyone to like talk to like that. So like I was always just be it to myself. So yeah, I became an introvert because of that. So I don't really I don't really like I'm not all that expressive. Like I'm expressive, I'm like comfortable, but like I don't know. I message you when you need me to message you, if you check up on me, and if I need to check up on you. But yeah, and also like I showed her my phone. Like I don't even like I don't talk to anyone. You know, like I showed her like I literally had like five contacts, like messages, like literally five, and all of them's family except for Brooke. Like everyone is family except for her. Like and she's the only one I talked to like within the past month. No, actually no. A couple weeks ago I talked to my sister. But yeah. And then like no one here talks to me. Like if my grandma talks to me, she's just ranting about like negative shit and like her problems and stuff like that, and it's just really just narcissistic. And then my cousin just like throws so much like shade at me for like no reason. So like I don't know, like I never really felt loved by people like that. Like I always just felt love more so in the sense of where it's like, he's Kamara, he's our family, so like we gotta look after him. But like no one ever took the time to really understand who I am. I feel like that's probably the reason why I'm able to just be myself, because I feel like no one ever took the time to understand me or really cared. So I don't really. That's the reason why. I guess that's the reason why I just don't give a fuck. I don't really care, cause like no one really seemed to like really like. Cause like a lot of people are afraid to be themselves. Cause like, what does this person think about me? What does that person think about me? Oh, I'm in this social group, but like, what if they don't appreciate? Like, what if they think I'm weird? Like for me, I never had a social group. I never really had these things. I never really fit in anywhere. I was always just isolated and discriminated. Like not like discriminate for being me, just being me. I was always just isolated, outcast. So being myself is just easy, and it just made me really happy. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty detached from a lot of stuff. I'm detached from humanity. I know a lot of people think that's like a bad thing. I don't really think it's a bad thing because I see it for how it is. I don't have a grudge or anything. I just see people for how they are, and I just embrace my divinity more because I always feel more comfortable. Like that's why like I view like divine beings and like deities and all these different kind of things like as family. I never really felt like family to like humans and stuff like that. No one really takes the time to appreciate me. But like when it comes to like and I used to be so curious, like, why do these people in my family get the love and understanding everything like this, but me, I don't. It used to confuse me so much. But then when I started looking more into myself and just realizing who I actually am and everything like that, and my divinity, I started realizing it's because I already have love, but I just don't see it. It's just not in the physical like that. It's more in spirit. When I realized, when I started looking at like tarot readings, I started realizing how knowing I am in like the spiritual world of things. So it made me just realize that I don't think humans will ever understand me truly, but it is what it is. I don't get too upset about things. I just go with it. Whatever my fate is, I just accept it. It just sucked, but it's life. It feels good knowing that there's something out there that cares about me and understands me. And seeing like tarot readers that cover my energy, like they read my energy and everything like that, and seeing how they just know so much about me, it makes me so happy because like I feel like the people around me don't know anything about me, right? So these strangers just know so much about me. I'm like, wow, that makes me feel so happy. Someone knows me, someone appreciates me, and seeing how kind they are towards like and like sensitive and like open to like I don't know, there's like how endearing they are towards my situations and stuff like that. It makes me feel good because I'm so used to people acting like I have no problems or acting like everything's my fault. So it's pretty cool. Just to feel loved. I always just wanted to be loved. That's all. But it's scary when every time you try to love people, they try to fuck you over. Just like last night, I had a dream about a family member who's deceased. It was like in my dream. We were chilling, and then he tried to attack me because he was jealous. He wanted my body. He attacked me. Like, I don't really understand why, like, how they could just be so kind to people, and then they just use that to like hurt you. I don't understand that. Why? Why can you? I don't understand how you can be jealous of someone else's life and their living or whatever. When you're the one who's responsible for your own life and you made mistakes that caused you to become, caused you to lose your body. How's that my fault? Why do I have to lose my life for because of you? Why do I have to be harmed because of your mistakes? I don't understand that at all. I think it's foolish to believe that. It tastes really good. I haven't really been eating it. I was eating chicken more, but this tastes really good. But yeah, man. I don't know. That's why, like, for me, like, I'm really detached. Like, so, like, with haters or negativity or whatever, man, like, your hate means nothing to me. My family didn't really show me the love that I deserved. So, like, I don't really understand why I would care what a stranger thinks about me. I dealt with rumors and all these different kind of things early. I dealt with adversity early, you know, with family and stuff like that. So I don't see why my like opinion of some random person who doesn't know anything about me bothers me. That's why for me, I don't really care. Like I'm not really upset about like things I went through in my childhood or anything like that because it made me strong, you know, and it just made me like numb to a lot of stuff. So just whatever. I really don't care. So if you're trying to get like an attention from me or like a reaction, I don't think it's good because I really don't care enough. So I'm used to it already. That's why like some people may be like, oh, he's trying to be cool or whatever. No, I'm not trying to be cool. I'm just numb to emotions, to negative emotions. I'm numb to it. It's my life. I'm just numb to it. I just don't care. I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said before. You know, I'm overexposed to things that just become part of it. Um, to be completely honest, like I never really had like I'm able to see if there's love or not. I never really had the thoughts of just like, oh, they're not treating me right or whatever. So I become like malicious or like negative or anything like that. No, no, not really. So I'm always able to see where that pain is coming from. I know they're acting like that because there's some kind of pain there. I only get to that point is if it's like malicious, you know what I mean? But if it's impulsive, I just step away. You know, it's just good to step away. I don't. I guess like it's a skill. I guess it's because I'm an arbiter. I'm able to see things better. Cause like I know everyone's not able to see life the way how I see. I used to think they did, but now I'm realizing they don't. Um, so like I have some natural arbiter skills. So where I since I was a child, I always just been able to really see a situation for how it is. So I never act irrational, you know. I always just saw, I always just like wonder, okay, they're acting like that. Why are they acting like that? And then I just analyze the environment. I'm like, okay, that's probably why they're acting like that. That's why like I never get too offended or anything like that. I only get offended if I feel like there's literally no love there. If there's no love there at all, then yeah. But now I'm starting to get a little more like strict though. Like I don't like to be. You have to get your shit together. That was, I understood I inherit those problems because of my family. But now, like with people that come in my life now, like I don't play that shit. Like if you don't have love for me, or if you try to hurt me, or anything like that, you're dead to me. I would never do that to you. So if you ever try doing that shit to me, I don't know what to say. I have no tolerance for it at all. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I already dealt with that shit before. I'm not doing it again. Fuck that. And we need to like create a more positive world, man. Does everything have to be so negative? And this egg tastes good. I was afraid that it wouldn't, but it does taste good. But yeah, man. I'm not the type of person that's like, I like companionship, but like, I'd rather be alone than be with people who don't treat me right. Like when I was like homeless for a week, like that was like bliss because that was like the first time I got to just be alone and not to worry about anyone else's energy. That's not good for me because like I never get to be around energy that's like mine. It's always negative energy that holds me back or messes with my mood and stuff like that, and expose me to things I don't want to be exposed to or make me act the way I don't want to act. You know, it's annoying. So just being outside, even though like fuck, it's cold as shit. I have nowhere to sleep at. I don't have food, and I'm just walking around all the time. I was more free than just being in a house full of people who just project their negativity upon you all the time. So yeah, it felt really good to just say yeah, just being free, man. I don't like that week was it was pretty awesome. Call me crazy, but it was. This is so freeing. I was listening to Men I Trust a lot and Kid Cudi. That was what I was mainly listening to during that time. Yeah. I don't know how I didn't freeze to death. It was December, late November, December, and it was so nice, but man, it was so cold. But yeah, it's awesome. And I couldn't sleep really. I slept on like I would take naps at night at the parking bench, like in front of like ShopRite by like in Ben Salem. I remember like some people they would just be looking at me in the car and pass by and just look at me. That was fun. I remember one time I went in the ShopRite in the morning and I was just chilling there in the morning. I was charging my phone because like I had to keep my phone charged. I remember one of the store clerks he got upset and he like called me out for being like homeless and shit, and he was trying to kick me out. That was fun. And yeah, he like tried to like rat on me or whatever, and then like the lady that like the supervisor lady that he told, like she was asking, "Are you homeless?" Whatever. I was like embarrassed. I won't lie, but and she was trying to like help me, and I was just like, "Nah, it's okay." And yeah, I left. But yeah, those are good times. 'Cause it was a unique experience. It's only a week. And after that week, went to my uncle's house. Oh my gosh, and I had to sleep there. Holy fuck, that wasn't fun. I feel like I had not had a break really since. I feel like that week was the only break I had. Even here being at my grandma's house, it's just still a lot of negativity. That's the only time I got to be free since the beginning of the decade, 2020. It's 2023 now. It's April. Mm. I just got a week of that. But it kind of sucks too, cause like I'm so strong in spirit. A lot of people aren't that strong, so they'll dump problems on you, or they'll be upset and jealous at you because you're so strong. But I'm just so determined that I won't let anything destroy me or have power over me. I refuse to let anything have power over me, anything. And I'm willing to do what I gotta do to be who I need to be or who I want to be. So a lot of people, they want this, they want that, but they don't want to put the work in. I don't mind putting the work in. If you want to be something, you gotta work towards it. And so many people always be like, think I don't work because I just be in the room or whatever. They don't think I work. They don't think I work like at all. I'm always working, always grinding. I'm always working towards what I want to do. So people keep trying to tell me, get a job, get a job. I don't want a fucking job, man. I don't want that shit. What? Get a job and just get paid like $200, $203. Yeah, like $200 like a week now. That's not enough. And like my life is a very unique life. Like I'm gonna get to where I want to be regardless when the time's right. Like I tried so many times buying promo and all these different things, and it just never works because it's just not time. I don't. I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. I'm supposed to dream my dream. It's gonna happen naturally. Everyone just wants to stare me off of it and everything like that, and it pisses me off. Because anything that gets in my way and tries to stop me from like, I just get really annoyed. Like, well, how would you feel if I told you that, like, you shouldn't be doing what you want to do or whatever, and I try to stop you from the things that you want to do? It will piss you off. Like, I don't know why people think they could just do that to me. It's really annoying. It irritates me. I don't like things getting in my way. I don't like anything getting in my way. I'm a very determined person. That's why I love anime so much. Because they have honor. They don't let shit get in their way. They don't give a fuck. They go through every obstacle. I like that shit. It's attractive. And always being surrounded by cowards. I don't like it. I have no respect, no remorse. I'm immune to that shit. Get your shit together. For real, like, seriously. But yeah. I don't care if people hate me. Do whatever you want to do. But everything has consequences. Every action has consequences. Everything you do has a consequence. So understand that. I don't like the weak, man. I really don't. I have no love for him. Take accountability for your life. I never was able to be weak. So I can't relate. You gotta find someone who can relate because I can't relate to that shit. I have no remorse at all. Because it just tells me you don't really want what you want. The second donuts? Oh, I can't hold it like that because my hand's fucked up. How do I hold it? I guess I could do it like this. I can't put weight on this. It's gonna fall. But if I nah, damn it, it's annoying. Oh well, it's temporary. I feel like I relate more to the deities than I do with humans. That's why I love like looking into so many different deities and like throughout time and everything like that, and just learning about them. So I can relate to them. That's why I like anime too, cause of the supernatural stuff and everything like that, and the divinity and everything like that. It just makes me. It just soothes my soul. It just makes me feel good. That makes me feel happy. Just learning about them and everything like that. I guess that's something that makes me feel. That gives me that sense of like family. That keeps me like stable. Yeah. There's a lot of times I really wish I could cry, but like usually I only really cry. I notice when I feel just violated, like my heart's just violated, like just betrayed, just absolutely betrayed. Like there's no love. That's the only time I usually cry. But like when I go through stuff, like I usually don't. It's usually more so when my heart's just like fucked with. That's when I cry. I tear a lot. Usually when I tear, it's not. It's like they're not my tears. It's like I feel like it's like either like something connected to my soul, maybe soulmates. Not sure. I'm not sure yet. But it's like something connected to my soul that can feel my pain, and it's like forcing me to cry because I think it's like their tears. I have no idea. I can't tell you, but that's how I feel so far about it. Mm. Mm. I have love for everybody, you know. I see this planet for what it is. I see the climate of this planet for what it is, and I know my circumstances, and I know the circumstances of the world. I know we're in a low vibrational period, so like, and humans don't really have much guidance. So, and I know I came from a broken home, so it was part of my fate to endure that stuff, you know, and it just will make me stronger. Um, so yeah, I'm not really upset. I just want to see people just grow from that. That's all. But yeah, I'm not really upset at it because I just really see situations for how it is. I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh, you're wrong or this or that or oh you shouldn't be forgiven or this or that. Like I believe everyone should be forgiven. Like at the state of the world, you know, it's fucked up. You're a product of your environment. But like I feel like what happens is that like people act like they hide their problems and being at this side of the family makes me realize that because a lot of people act like everything's all good and rainbows and shit when it's really not. They just hide it from the world and they act like everything's so perfect, and that's not the case. So like a lot of people don't realize that the homes is where the problems are. You know, a lot of stuff happens at the homes. A lot of people are like that because of their environments and stuff like that. It's just like I heard like Bella Porch, like she said like her nickname was like bitch from her family, her parents. Like they'll just treat her like shit. But then when they're around people, they'll act like she's so good. That's what my family does that too. I used to not like that. Like sometimes like they would treat me like crap one minute. They just be like super like aggressive or whatever. And then someone comes around and they start kissing up to me. I always hate that. Like there's so many times like when like my mom or someone like I used to be so cringed out when like women would do like like cutesy voices and stuff like that, and like different kind of things. Because I always thought it was a manipulation tactic. Because like whenever because I'm so used to her being like her more masculine energy, where she would just be like really like aggressive and just dominant and pretty hostile, to where like sometimes she'll act all like feminine and everything like that. And usually I feel like when she's doing that, it's some kind of manipulation tactic. That's something I notice over here too. A lot of people do that. I noticed that they try to kiss your ass and everything like that. It's it's like that shit used to scare me. Like whenever like being around a girl and they act all cutesy, like to me that felt like an attack. That felt like some kind of attack that you were trying to do. There's a whole lot of like brainwashing bullshit going on. A whole lot of it. But it's okay. It's all forgiven. Just do better. But just because like it's forgiven, like I do need to like acknowledge like my shit, like and why I'm fucked up the way I am, and why my life is the way how it is, and everything like that. If no one else wants to listen, there's people out there who are going through similar situations as I. So we don't want people talking about the things you did to them. You shouldn't have did it, right? So people start talking about things I did to them. Shouldn't have did it. So I just own up to who I am and everything like that. Everyone should be able to express themselves and not have to act like certain things that happened to them didn't exist so they don't offend somebody or whatever. Like, no, you shouldn't have did that shit. Once you do something, now is a part of that person's story. Everyone has the ability to talk about everything that has happened in their life. That's how you heal. You can't heal if you don't do that in some kind of way. Makes sense out of things. Because that's when corruption starts coming up. When people aren't able to express themselves and everything like that, and they become corrupted. It's not good. So yeah, people should be able to talk about the things they've been through. That's how I feel. I don't defend myself in situations like that. If I make mistakes and I harm somebody, hey man, they have to. It's it's part of their story now, so they need to heal from that. If I can help them, that'd be awesome. But like, I'm not gonna act like that never happened or anything like that. That's fucked up. That means that you don't care about them. That's not love. Love is taking responsibility for your actions and what you've done instead of acting like nothing happened. It's terrible. You feel emotions too. You feel pain too. How would you feel if people act like the things that happened to you never happened? You wouldn't like that. Can't be a hypocrite. Everyone deserves to be appreciated and to be understood and to be heard. That's how I feel. I'm not like that. I don't defend myself in those kind of situations. I only defend my life because I value my life. But stuff like that, like reputation and everything like that, no, I shouldn't have did it. I did it. Like it's okay. Mm. Wow, this song's really good. What's this? It's called Daydreamer's Diary. Um, Also, I'm not the kind of person like, yeah, sure, I haven't really been loved and everything like that. All these different things, and I've been through a lot of stuff. Um, but that's not an excuse to like cut myself off from love or anything like that. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I'd rather just heal from that and associate that with that chapter and not hold on to the past. I've never been the kind of person to hold on to the past. Rather realize these situations are what they are and understand that I attract certain people because of the energies that were tied to me from my family that I inherited. Make sense out of that, see it for how it is, break free from it, and then align with people who are better for you. You know, the ideal thing to do with your life is to align yourself with people who are like you, who have similar ideals and stuff like that, who can make you feel comfortable, you know, not people who are like people who aren't really good for you. So you can't say everyone's the same when there's billions of people out here. No one's really the same. You just attract energies that you're used to. That's what it is. It's not that people are the same. It's just that you keep attracting the same energy. That's what it is. And when you see people who are different, you ignore them. You gotta understand these things. You're doing it to yourself. So you're telling yourself things that are really dangerous. It can fuck your world up. Um, but yeah, we go through things and stuff like that, but we're responsible of our own fates and our future. So we can build a better future for ourselves. I always knew that. So I just never had the opportunity to for a while, but I always just knew that I'm able to build another future for myself that's better. So I was just patient with it. But yeah, you heal yourself, you make sense out of things, and then you align yourself with people who are more like you and that can understand and appreciate you. That's the ideal thing to do. It's not really necessary to be hung up on things from your past because it's the past. Instead, focus on envision the future for yourself. You are a creator, so you can create a better future for yourself. It's really ideal to get out of that like defeatist, like pessimistic mindset because all you're gonna do is just kill yourself. A lot of people are trying to a lot of people with that mindset try to kill others with them, like they try to drag people down with them. But I'm telling you, that's just not going to work anymore. You're doing it to yourself. It's not anyone else's um, responsibility or their fault or whatever. They shouldn't have to be dragged in with you. You need to take accountability for your own life. Things happen to us all, but it's up to you to determine how you're gonna let that affect you. You know, just because you were raped or just because like something happened to your family or something happened to you or you were abused or just went through like terrible times doesn't mean that you're not worthy of living and that just because people may not love you and where you're at doesn't mean that people beyond the world that you're in can't love you because life is way deeper than the people that are around you. It's way deeper than what you inherited. You can inherit more. You can come across better people, but you have to align with it. You have to believe in it. You have to work on yourself. It's like, do you know how many girls I have talked to that were super depressed and they wanted a guy just like me in their life, and I'm talking to them, but they're neglecting me? My cousin is one of them, and they're neglecting me because they're so fixated on their past that they don't realize that the present has what they want. People don't realize it's like what I said about Blackpink, right? Like Blackpink was always in my energy, like they always was. Like I knew about them before, like back in like I think I saw that like in 2018 or something like that. But I wasn't paying attention to it. You know, when we are so fixated on certain things and we're not ready to graduate to the next step, that's when we start missing things. But what you want will always be in front of you, or there will always be references to it, but you're gonna always neglect it. There's so many women, man, that wanted a guy just like me, and they fucked up. I was right there with them the whole time, chilling with them. But they fucked up because they were so fixated on their past. They weren't ready for that step yet. You know? That happens. You have to realize that you're causing illusions for yourself. Whatever you're telling yourself is your own world, your own illusions, and you fit things that you want to align with that world. So you block out things that don't align with the world you want for yourself. That can be positive or negative. We create our own worlds. We're just all coexisting with each other, but we create our own world. So whatever I believe in my world, I'm going to focus on what I believe in, and I'm going to surround myself with things that go with that. Things I don't believe in, I'm not going to have that in my world. That can be positive for some people or negative for some people. You know, you gotta stop thinking that you gotta stop generalizing everything. Everything's not general. This is a complex world, very complex. It's deeper than just what you see, your perspective. So many different perspectives, so many perspectives that you wouldn't even understand if you were exposed to them, because it would just blow your mind apart. It's really deep. You have to understand that you can create a life, you can create a path of life or a path of death for yourself. You have to understand that. You have to be responsible for your own life. No God is going to be responsible for your own life. You're the God of your own life. That is your responsibility. You have to be your own God. Deities may help you if they want to, but they're not gonna help the cowards like that much. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna throw you a bone. Seriously, you have to take accountability for your own life. You're the God of your own life. So if they're like, hey man, they just focus on suffering all the time, then just suffer then. You obviously don't want a better life for yourself. That's why if you notice when you start going down these negative paths or when you just focus on negativity, things just get worse for you because you're creating that for yourself. Same thing, like if you focus on positivity and stuff like that, things get more positive for you. And then when you're living a negative lifestyle, when positive things happen, you ignore those positive things. When you're living a positive lifestyle, when negative things happen, you ignore those negative things. Wake up and see things for how they actually are. You create your own world, whatever you want it to be. It's important to understand that. It's really important. It's no Jesus, no whatever, no God, not even the universe is responsible for your life. You go to church all you want. You can go to church every fucking day, every second. But your life isn't going to change until you take responsibility for your life. You're just trying to dump your problems on the church. That's what you're trying to do. Spirituality is a singular thing. It's not something that you do with other people. It's a singular thing. Everyone has their own spiritual paths, their own spiritual qualities, because the spiritual realm is infinite and it's extremely complex. What I believe is way different from what other people believe, because everyone has their own different things, because everyone has their own unique souls. So everyone's like Jesus, 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 and that means that obviously everyone's not following their souls, because everyone's not supposed to follow Jesus. I don't believe that. I don't care what anyone says, because there's so much more than just fucking Jesus out there. It's really deep, super deep. We're on a goddess. One thing that we can say in common, a deity we can say in common that looks after us is our planet, Gaia. And on top of that, the universe, even the Milky Way galaxy, and the cosmos and stuff like that we're under. But like these like sub deities, they're not. They're no, no, no. Because you can be your own sub deity. Hate me if you want to. I really don't care. I'm immune to it. You need to wake up soon, please, 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 pretty please, pretty please, do it for me. I think being born into a Christian home was really interesting, like super Christian, super religious, because this made me realize how hypocritical religious people can be. It made me realize so much how egotistical it actually is. How people just use religion like like a scapegoat. They use deities as scapegoats to absorb all their problems. They don't really care about the religion as much as they think they do. They're scared. When I look at YouTube comments and I see people saying, "Oh, have a Bible or Jesus coming or this that," and someone says something about like Jesus or something or religion in a comment, and then you see all these people just like saying all this stuff to go with it. It's fear. They're afraid of dying. They're afraid of suffering. They're afraid of being punished. That's the reason why they're doing it. I can tell. I can pick up on the fear. It's fear. It's not faith. It's fear. Religion is so fear based, like it makes no sense. Spirituality should not be fear. There should be no fear of spirituality. You know, like expanding your mind and stuff like that. But when you really realize there's nothing to fear at all. If you're fearing, that means like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Cause there's no reason to fear. Why do you fear? If you fear, that means you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because otherwise, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, why even care? You could walk around deities, not even think about it. It's just like fucking. It's like cops. People who do wrong and are criminals, they're afraid of cops. But people who are just living their lives, they don't care. Oh, you're black, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing anything. I'm just chilling. Don't make me challenge that cop. Sue his ass. Do some shit. People act like they don't have power. You act like you don't have power, man. So interesting. So interesting. We're not here to just fuck with people. It doesn't work like that. You gotta get out of the victim mindset. You have power yourself. Mm. That was pretty good. But yeah, man. For me, like heaven, I feel like I'm already living my heaven. I feel like my life is heaven. It's been the bad times. Because it helps me grow. This is how I want to live my life. That's why I'm not really too upset at things. Dude, I get to be a part of I, I was spawned on a planet that is growing and that lacks like a divine um foundation, and that had not the greatest examples of divinity, and the planet is restoring. I get to be a part of that amongst other ones, other deities and stuff like that that are growing. That's amazing. There's a whole planet, there's a whole universe to explore. On top of that, that's heaven for me. That's why I'm here. This is my heaven. I wouldn't want my heaven to always be like fucking perfect and rainbows and shit. Like that's boring. You need some kind of like conflict at times so that you can grow. I think it's awesome. But this is my heaven. I'm living my heaven. That's why I'm not really too upset. This is heaven to me. There's a whole universe to explore. A whole universe. A whole universe. It's exciting to me. Hmm. Yeah, I have a very expansive like soul and a very expansive mind. I don't know. I just I deeply believe in fantasy and stuff like that. I'm not really drawn to just like the like mundane stuff like that. I believe in so much more. This big ass piece of chicken. I can't eat that. I'm too full. Owie. Yeah. I finished my food. Um, I think I'm done talking. Where's my AirPod case? Yeah, that's just how I feel. I'm not really upset by like the bad times or anything like that. Everything's an experience, you know? Everything is just interesting to me. You know, I'm half angel, half demon. So I don't know if that's an arbiter thing. I feel like everyone should be neutral. But like for me, I appreciate the dark as much as I appreciate the light. I appreciate both of them. I like to understand both of them as much. So there's a lot of things that are more negative that I actually appreciate, and there's things that are more positive that I appreciate as well. Everything's an experience, so I don't really get too upset about it. As long as anything's not trying to like destroy me, I don't appreciate that type of stuff. And I don't really like low vibrational stuff, but like I do like to learn about things so I can understand why things are the way they are, and it helps me become a better person. And it helps me be able to help other people become better people, and it can help me help people, fix their fates because that's the kind of arbiter I want to be. I don't want to be like an arbiter that's just like, okay, this is this. No, like I want to be understanding. I want to be able to help people fix their fates and be able to create the life that they want to create for themselves. That's something I want to do. I want to be someone that can really keep people on the right track and help people. Um, that's why I like to warn people and everything like that because I really care about people. Um, because a lot of like I just seen how like so much is like they'll just like they won't warn you and they'll just like expect for you to know things and then they'll just condemn you. Is it condemn? Like apprehend, like sentence you? That's pretty much like how the human justice system is. Like they'll just like they don't expect for you to know things, right? No, they expect for you to know everything, even though you weren't taught right, you weren't raised right, all these different things. They don't take accountability for the way that the climate of the world is, because they don't see it from a detached mind, from a detached place. So they're still living it and they're part of it, and a lot of them are doing terrible things, negative things. So they're not going to be able to see things for the situation, for the actual situation, and they play dumb a lot. So I don't want to be like that. I want to be someone who can see, okay, I see your life. I see the things you've been through. I understand it. You're forgiven, but you need to fix your life. And this is how you fix your life. If you don't want to fix your life, you can walk the path of death or despair or torture or suffering if you want to. I don't think that's ideal, but that's the path you're walking. But if you do this or that or this or that or whatever, any of these things, you can walk a better path for yourself. But if you don't, then you may end up walking a path that can instigate purgatory. So that's not ideal, but that's up to you. It's your life. But yeah, that's the kind of person I want to be, rather than being like, oh, you did that, okay, boom. Like the way how people act, like they're like, oh man, like you sin, you did this, you're going to hell. You did this bad thing, you're going to hell for that. You're just, like, geez, like bro, people have there's no empathy. There's no empathy. Like there's no like you can't make mistakes. You can't do anything. That shit's not real. It's not like that, because there's no love. We're here to love. So with love comes understanding. It's less about what you're doing and more about what will you do in the future? Are you gonna keep doing the same bullshit, or are you going to become a better person and learn from your mistakes? Because if you're gonna redeem yourself, then yeah, renew yourself. You can become a really good person from a better person and a really experienced person. Like something that I noticed from a lot of people I've talked to throughout life, a lot of the most wise and genuine people are people who fucked up in life. And a lot of people who are really just like not good people are people who just try to be perfect. But people who fuck up a lot in life are like the best people to be around. People who fuck up and take responsibility for their life and accountability for their actions, those are the best people to be around. And unfortunately, in the climate right now of the world, a lot of those people aren't really, you know, they're not treated right. You know, a lot of people are homeless. A lot of people are convicts. They can't get jobs. They can't get housing. A lot of people lose their reputation. I mean, they can't. They're blacklisted from places because of the mistakes they made. All these different things. But if you look into the situation, you don't think about how their family treats them. You don't think about the environment. You don't think about the things that they were roped into. You don't think some people are roped into gangs. Some people are roped into like violence and all these different kinds of things. People are roped into it young. It's either you do this or you die. People don't think about that. They don't think about that at all. They just think, oh, you did that? Okay, bye. 50 years in prison. Nope, don't want to hear it. That's like how my life was. That's like how my childhood was. Oh, you did this? But I did that. No, no, I don't want to hear it. You did that. But this is the reason why. No, I don't care why you did it. You did it. That's how people are. It's so weird. That's not how it's supposed to be. You need to listen to the story and understand why that happened. It's less about what someone did and the reason why they did it. Why did you do that? Like that's how like every time I like seen like people who do like really crazy things, I wonder why are they doing it, right? It's just like with me. I can easily as an arbiter be like, okay, humanity should be destroyed for everything they've done, right? But instead, I'm like, no, why are humans doing this? Why is that human doing that? Why is this human doing that? Why? Instead of being like, oh, he's doing that crazy shit. He should be destroyed. He's doing that crazy shit. He should be. No, it shouldn't be like that. See, this is why I have more love for like divine beings than humans, because humans just think about they just jumped into shit and they just think about okay, that should be destroyed. This should be destroyed. That should be destroyed. But divine beings carry love, and they're more like, why is this happening? How can you renew yourself? How can you become a better person? We want you to become a better person. If you don't want to become a better person, then you can walk this path that is not good for you. If you want to become a better person, you can renew your fate. That's how it should be. So the humans don't understand that. Everything is just so violent and just so like unforgiving. But yeah, that's just how it is currently. But it'll change one day. But yeah, that's all for now. I hope everyone have a great day. Be blessed, safe, happy, healthy, abundant, prosperous. Take care. Love you all. Be good.